Hi everybody, and welcome to your daily reading for Thursday, June 15th, 2023, or whenever you happen to find this reading. Today the sun moves into the sign of Gemini in sidereal astrology around noon Eastern time. Okay, and today is Thursday, Thor's Day, so I'm going to pull out my runes because I haven't done that in a while. Okay, so I'm going to take all these cards that flipped over. A bunch came out, but these are the ones that are showing up face up. And take the one underneath. All right, so these will be our 4 cards. A lot of feminine energy going on today with the Queen of Coins, the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Justice card again. That showed up a couple days ago. Here it's called Breakthrough. Okay, so much like the Crowley deck, where the Strength card and the Justice card, number 8 and 11, are reversed in their meanings, so it is here in the Osho Zen deck. So number 11 is actually akin to the Strength card, which is Leo. That's why we have this bright red, orange, and yellow colors bursting forth from the solar plexus here, breaking down walls, barriers to self-expression or success, thoughts that maybe have been holding you back, or people or circumstances that you seemed or felt were impossible. These challenges, these walls that were put up, were simply put there for you to conquer. So if you notice that these two figures have very similar arm postures, they're both extended up to the sky. They're reaching out, they're opening to receive. And once that is done, this almost also looks like a dam breaking because of all the bricks that are surrounding this person. They're just plowing through. And then this water or this emotion or the current of life is breaking through. This is resistance, and now after a breakthrough you end up going with the flow. Once you learn to trust and receive and open your arms to embrace the circumstance, whatever's coming towards you, whatever challenge or difficulty, it's not I think it's like giving up. It's surrendering, but not in a negative light. It's surrendering to circumstance, learning to relax, roll with the punches, and at the very end, your outcome there is the flowering, is the Queen of Coins. There's an absolute acceptance. There's a comfort, where this figure is completely immersed in the water, right? So the lotus grows from the murky, muddy bottoms of a pond. So she has extended up. She's gone through the darkness. She's reached the surface. The light is where the flower blooms. And now this figure is sitting on top of the flower. So there's some success. There's completion with the circle behind her, in which she's become abundant. She's become, she's conquered the material realm, essentially. And she has an abundance of freedom, free time, free resources. So this is a celebration in a sense that once you learn to let go, accept, and receive whatever comes your way without resistance, that's how you begin to float. And that's how this figure is just floating down the stream as she's on this floating lotus petal. You can rise above the turbulent currents of the emotions of water. Okay. And that turbulence was created through resistance to change or to circumstance, whatever has become a part of your reality recently that maybe you didn't want to accept. So I'm going to grab some of your astrology cards here. Some further clarity on this situation. It almost looks like an inhale here and an exhale there. It's a centering. Okay, that came out. Saturn. Yep. So that was the restriction. That was the wall. Full, feel restricted, experience struggle, learn hard work, and patience. So that's Capricorn, right? The Devil card, too. There could have been some defeat of again, binding forces or distractions or things that were consuming your energy. And once you give, I hate to use this phrase, you give yourself over to a higher power, like something, they say in AA or whatever, that you're powerless against this, and you give up, basically you give up your need or your need for this, whatever it is, whatever the addiction is, whether it's toxic relationships or substances or people, whatever. This is, okay, I can't do this anymore. You're throwing your hands up kind of in a defeat. I release this, I let it go, and then that was the lesson, was to walk away from that. Okay, 2 cards fell on the floor. I'm going to grab those because Saturn is our teacher. Okay, and then we have here fixed, stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. So Taurus, Leo, which is here, Virgo, and Aquarius. So fixed is the most intense expression of each sign. It's the most, again, going from fixed to mobile. So being stagnant, kind of compressing all of your energy into one space versus releasing that. So moving out of this fixed energy into a more mutable energy, which is Gemini, is mutable air. So I mentioned an inhale and an exhale. Gemini rules the lungs. It feels like maybe a lot of you have been holding your breath, waiting for an answer, a circumstance, or something to shift, the other shoe to drop. And now it's like once it does, you're finally free and you can exhale, you can relax. Okay, and then we have Chiron, hurt and heal. Okay, so you made it through something. Again, incredibly painful, incredibly difficult. When they say when you're like a runner, you hit a wall, but then you can break through the wall when you get your second wind. Again, Gemini being an air sign. So this looks like a second wind, but it's a different kind. It's not the same current that you're used to. All right, so whereas you may have felt you were drowning before, as this person is fully submerged and you were held down like under a glass ceiling, this almost looks like glass around this individual too that they're breaking through, right? Once you breach the surface, then you're on a whole other wavelength. You've achieved a new level. Okay. Now, underneath this, we have the sun. Self-express and embody truth. Yeah. All right, and that's what Leo does, because Leo rules the sun, the ego, the solar plexus. All right. There's more joy to be had on the other side of this lesson or of this constraint. Okay. Let's get our alchemy card for the day. All right, well, I'm not going to pick because I saw this card and I was drawn to look at it. So, Earth's Heart, number 52. There's a rose down there, too. Okay, let's read about that. Oh, and Sun Splendor, 53 is right next to it. I've shuffled these many times, but I just bring that up because the Sun card was shown up, too. So the title of this card is Buried Treasure, Depth, or Pulse. Amidst our phenomenal scientific pursuits, we have yet to journey to the core of the earth. We can only support what is there, such as the mystery of the Cavern Terram card. It is related to the archetypal image of the cave and the fourth chakra located at the heart. This card appears when there is something blossoming deep within that requires our attention, our tending to it. It could be a new love, a way of serving others, or an offering to the planet and its resources. In alchemical texts, Cavernum Terra roughly translates to Earth is the true heart. The journey of discovery will take you through many layers, slowly revealing her gifts. This is proof of Earth's longing to provide, to teach. You've already felt the pulse of the Earth's heart. Now it's time to listen, to be a student of her wisdom. This card can be read as a direct call to reconnect with Earth itself, sit or walk in nature, perhaps visiting your favorite spot. If you can't get there, sit and visualize. Science tells us that the Earth's core is made of iron. If this card appears alongside the iron card, you can be sure the magnetic center is pulling you. Go in and in. Okay. So it mentions something deep within is flowering, and we have the actual card titled Flowering here. And I mentioned the metaphor of the lotus blooming from the deepest, darkest core. So something is being pulled out from your core. With the sun here, with Leo, the ego, your core nature is coming out, it's coming through and being shared with the world. It's like you can't hold this back anymore. Your guides won't let you. As comfortable as it is to stay in your old identity or your old surroundings, it's not going to fly anymore. So it's almost like you're being pushed forward, like being birthed into the world. You can't really stop it. As comfortable as the womb is, when it's time to come out, it's time to go. So, all right. And now I'm going to grab some runes because it is Thor's Day, named for the Norse god Thor. So let's see what our runes can illuminate for us. What is this? Okay. There we are. You know what? We could just do one because I'm going to read about it. See what this new rune is about. All right. The name of this rune is Uruz, which means wild ox, spirit strength to shape creation. So it's referring to the original cow or ox, which makes me think of Taurus the bull, and actually the ruler of Gemini, Mercury, and Mercury being the magician, is currently in the sign of Taurus in sidereal astrology. I'm not sure of the exact dates, but it's not far into Taurus. So perhaps this transition through Taurus this is a rune of manifestation. So as the magician moves through this earth element, and Taurus here is showing up as the fixed earth sign, that this is really when things begin to manifest, and perhaps that's what the breakthrough is. But the description of Uruz is the pattern of creation whose energy shapes matter, the wild force of creation. The horns of the ox point up, but the rune points down, releasing spiritual energy into manifestation. In some contexts, this could be a rune of manifestation, physical resources becoming available, spiritual energy producing results, or the need to organize and pattern energy so that it will be usable. Here we have, again, the Queen of Coins showing up. She's the queen of the material world. It's abundance, opulence, Venus, which rules Taurus, and Libra. And I mentioned this as the number 11 is originally the Justice card, which is Libra the scales. So Venus and all the physical comforts of the world, the ability to, again, breathe a sigh of relief, to relax, to reap the benefits and the rewards of the struggles that you've conquered. So its position may say something about the physical energy or health of the subject. It could also imply the need to take an active role in getting or protecting resources, including nutrition, and if necessary, to take risks, to be willing to change. That could also be the breakthrough that we're seeing. In a negative position, it might mean that there is difficulty in making a change or a need to get rid of the past. And I mean, that's kind of what Chiron is in Saturn, the lessons of the past, the karmic lessons. Chiron is hurt and heal. So heal is the second half of that. That's the recovery. You do that by maybe cutting ties with people. And magically, Uruz is the act of pouring out an offering from a sacred horn. As a rune associated with the slow melting of glacial ice, it may indicate a need to pay attention to the direction in which one is expending one's energy. In spellwork, Uruz can be used to increase energy or to make potential available, drawn on the forehead, for instance, when one is tired. It can help with the powers of other runes to manifest on the physical plane. Okay, so we have this potential, perhaps while the sun is in Gemini and Mercury is moving through Taurus, to see these breakthroughs come through our life, to feel like we have again breached the surface of something. We've dug deep, we've gathered our energy and focused it into the proper direction, away from, again, the things that were draining our energy. And it looks more like a self-serving thing, a self-development, a more focused inward is where you're putting your energy, as opposed to expending it indiscriminately on people who don't value the energy that you have to offer anymore. All right, so let's get some magic cards for us today. Labyrinth, transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration, alignment. Yeah, raising up through the, like the lotus flower, raising your standards of care for yourself. Abracadabra with wings, fantastic good fortune and lucky chances. Well, it's Thursday, Thor's Day, ruled by Jupiter, god of wealth and luck and expansion. And then we have prosperity, prosperous business with riches and success. Yeah, that's the reward for overcoming in the Queen of Coins, and healing, true healing of the mind, body, and soul. There is, again, some water here. The Queen of Cups is a healer, healing of the self. The Ace of Cups is an outpouring and overflowing of healing, love, and energy. And believe it or not, there's the Philosopher's Stone again. It was under the deck for yesterday's reading as well. So peaceful or powerful manifestations of wishes and goals by harnessing universal energy. All right, so that's all I have for you today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.